Repeat after me. I, Albert Boutwell,
I, Albert Boutwell,
solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
and the Constitution of the State of Alabama,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
so long as I can remain a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully and honestly
and that I will faithfully and honestly
discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter, to the best of my ability. So help me God.
So help me God.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and of the Constitution of the State of Alabama, so long
Federal courts have decreed that we must send our children to integrated schools contrary to our laws and customs and traditions. They've told us how we must sit on the city buses here in the city of Montgomery. We've seen paratroopers with bayonets try to ram integration down the throats of our citizens. We should all bear in mind that the federal government is a government of delegated and limited power and has only the powers granted to it by the states. And any encroachment by the federal government against these rights of the states is tyranny in the worst sense. Every section of the country is feeling the heel of the federal government today. And to all of us who believe in constitutional government, who want to preserve the sovereign powers of the state and protect our democratic way of life, this is an alarming situation. I want to pledge to you, as your governor, that I will be unyielding in my opposition to this wrongful usurpation of power by the federal government. I will use every power at my command to prevent any further encroachment by the federal government upon the sovereign rights of the state of Alabama and its people. My administration will be dedicated to the preservation of our constitutional form of government. I will work with all the other southern states and their officials to form a common front to better enable us to defend our state's rights and to protect ourselves here in our Southland. As your governor, I will preserve and promote the cause of public education in Alabama. I want to see every child in this state afforded the best education possible, irrespective of race or color. The well-being of the state and our nation depends upon the education of our children. Our children must come first. As your governor, I promise you that I will do everything within my power to increase the salaries of our school teachers commensurate with the salaries paid school teachers in other states. And I will do everything possible to provide adequate school facilities for our children. The white and Negro pupils should have equal school facilities, but they must be segregated. I will oppose with every ounce of energy that I possess, and will use every power at my command to prevent any mixing of the white and Negro races in the classrooms of the schools of this state. I dedicate every capacity to the preservation of segregation in the schools. The people of this state are overwhelmingly in favor of good public education. They are overwhelmingly against integration of the races in the public schools. The people of this state will not tolerate nor support integrated schools. And any attempt by the federal government or anybody else to force integration of the races in our schools by force will result in chaos, turmoil, and possible violence, and you will see the destruction of our public school system, which, as you know and I know, would be a terrible thing. There is no such thing to me as a little integration. The determined and ruthless race agitators that are working today in the state of Alabama, dividing the races and creating trouble and strife for us, are determined to do everything that they can as quick as possible to bring about a complete amalgamation of our society. They are determined to break down our laws and customs and traditions, whether you and I like it or not. If we surrender or compromise any of our rights in this fight, they will be gone forever, never to be regained or restored. I call upon the people of this state today and our representatives in the legislature to support me in this fight to preserve our public education system and maintain segregation of the races in our schools. I recommend for the consideration of the legislature the enactment of a law authorizing the governor to close any public school where military or other forces are employed by the federal government to force or to police their operations. I recommend also the enactment of a law cutting off all public funds to any public school which is integrated in this state. I am well aware that as governor of the state of Alabama, that I'm the governor for all of the people of this state, white and Negroes alike. The overwhelming majority of the Negro citizens of this state are opposed to integration of the races. They, like everybody else, want their children to have a good public education. The trouble between the races in Alabama is caused by a handful of race agitators that are not natives of this state, but who've been sent in here among us to stir up trouble and strife. I'd like to say today to the Negro citizens of Alabama that I'm interested in your welfare and that my administration will be working to protect your interests as well as the interests of all the citizens. However, I'd like to say further to the Negro citizens today that if you wish to preserve your public education system and educate your children, you should stand up and speak out now against the agitators of your own race who aim to destroy our school system. If you do not do so, and the agitators continue at their present pace, in a short time we will have no public education system at all. And if our public schools are once destroyed and shut down, they may not be reopened in my lifetime and yours. Our children will suffer the consequences.